Good evening, everybody. Hey, there's just 99 days until Christmas 2020. It's coming up quickly. We're already halfway through September, and better yet, we're closing in on the season 2 premiere of The Mandalorian. So it's very exciting. We're hoping for great things this season. And with the trailer being released yesterday, which I honestly didn't expect, but Lord Vito, thanks for joining. Hey, but with the trailer coming out yesterday, there was a lot of things going on, and kudos to Josh over at the Den of Nerds. Nailed it on that trailer coming out. He had the right time, the right place, and he did a great job yesterday. And then I spent a lot of time listening to different people's take. And yesterday evening, caught Star Wars Theories uh, reaction video. And then this morning, I saw his breakdown. It was a little more of a recorded thing. So with that, I picked up on a couple of things and I chased them myself, and I've got some thoughts. And one of the things that people kind of get in their head is some of these places that we're seeing in the trailer, and speculation about uh, where these places are. And there's all kinds of different thoughts. But I think what'll help us find that answer is if we can determine who is Din Djarin searching for. And I think in the trailer we have a little bit of clue to that. But I want to preface, because Dale Erdman left a comment on my stream yesterday that is absolutely pertinent. And I'm going to read what Dale posted, just a little bit of what he posted. He said, "It's funny how people are offended by anything and everything." And I want to come back to that later, because Josh has been kind of promoting this Netflix video called The Social Dilemma. And I watched it. I encourage folks to watch it. It's a good one. It's on Netflix. You can find it, Social Dilemma. And it highlights a lot of what we're seeing in the world and in our country. And I know we have some viewers that are in Europe. And so they're not specific to the United States for sure. These are things that are affecting people all over the world. And Josh likes to say our brains are broken. And I wouldn't disagree. I think that our culture is broken, and really the way that we interact with each other as people is broken. And I left a message to Josh that on one of his videos that we had a sermon in church a couple of weeks in a row where we talked about our enemy is not horizontal. And of course, in the context of church and the spiritual things, we're talking about God and our relationship to Him. But I think this same thing applies here in our own culture, in context with this social dilemma issue. Is our enemy is not horizontal. We like to form these groups of people who think like us, and then these battle lines are drawn, and we fight with one another over the craziest things. And we see it here within the Star Wars community, but it goes well beyond that. We see it in political spectrum, and we're seeing it all over the world. It's funny that Dale put that on there, because that's absolutely pertinent. But then he followed. He said that there's always hints of different things in the books, in the comics, previous movies, everything that people point to one possibility or another. And so I'm going to do some of that here tonight. But let's read on. He said people jump on those hype trains because it's what they see and maybe like best out of all of the infinite possibilities that could happen, and develop some kind of attachment to it, right? And we often call that our head canon. We come up with this head canon and these stories in our own heads related to those things that we really latch onto, those things in Star Wars that we love most. Anyway, it says, then everything's different. Nothing's canon until it happens in a movie. But a lot of people don't see that, and then they get really upset when those things don't play out the way that they had imagined or thought or dreamed. So we have to be careful about that. And I kind of criticized Josh and Al, executive producer Al Schuler at the Den of Nerds, because they really torched the sequel trilogy, and a lot of that has to do with the straw men. And I made that argument, but they still love Star Wars, and whatever complaints they have with the sequel trilogy, we have a lot to be excited about in the Star Wars community, and we shouldn't let these kind of differences, whether you like a movie or dislike a movie, whether you're torching the sequel trilogy or defending it, we should find ways to unite and gather together. We can have these great discussions, and certainly we can have a lot of passion and enthusiasm, but let's not let that derail us from the thing that we're here for, which is our love and passion for Star Wars. So wanted to start with that, and then let's just jump in. I'd like to go through this trailer, and we'll talk about some different things, and I'd love to get your opinions about what you think might be here as well. I had a great conversation last night with my friend, a Magic Maker, with Reimagining Star Wars. We had a chat going on last night on Discord, but I'll show you a few things here. So I'm going to open my window capture here, and I want to kind of walk through this trailer with you all. So and as we walk through it, there's some things I'd like to point out, and then, as I said, I kind of get your take on what you think it might be. So I'm gonna mute the audio, and I'm going to let's see here. It looks like I can move this, and I'm going to change the playback speed. I like on YouTube to change the playback speed down to like a quarter. Oh, Adam! Oh, good evening. Thanks for joining. Yeah, I love the Eagles. Yeah, you won't rip them apart when they suck. Oh, I meant to say something. I'm glad you brought up sports. The difference between movie fans and sports fans is sports fans can get over it and get excited. You know, Adam, that's absolutely right. And the Eagles are a really good example, because Philadelphia fans are tough fans, right? Because they love their team, and boy, they are touchy. If you talk about the franchise in the wrong tone, you can get yourself in an argument with those Eagles fans. But to your point, I mean, I live here in Ohio, and we have Browns fans. Believe it or not, they're still fans of that franchise, even when they moved and became a better club as the Baltimore Ravens, the original Browns, who have actually won a Super Bowl when they're not called the Browns and living in Cleveland. Oh, there's my Browns fans. No, look, the Browns still have fans of the new franchise, and they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. The other one is Jets fans, right? So these are people who are always optimistic about their club and their team, and they're not good. They're not good. Movie fans have a long way to go to be like sports fans. Yeah, you're right, Adam. And so I wanted to come back here because I put on my Ohio State shirt. Today is a big day in the Big Ten. They finally got their act together. They voted. We're going to have Big Ten football at the end of October. So, wow, that's fantastic. I'm really excited that we're going to get to see some Big Ten football. So, yeah, I don't love every performance of the Buckeyes. That's for sure. We completely blew it in the second half against Clemson last year. Oh my goodness, heartbreaking. We could have won that game if we had just kept playing. So yeah, the next game you root for them. You root because yeah, you don't root for them to fail forever all the time. Absolutely right, Adam. You're absolutely right. And there's some movie fans, some fans of the franchises who tear apart each other in a way that breaks down the fandom and actually turn people away from the thing they love. So rather than try to tell people why you love your team so much, or root them on, you're actually tearing them down, and people are wondering why. If all you got to do is say bad things, why do you even watch? Do you sucker for punishment or what? What's the deal? You're right. So anyway, let's get back in here. I want to get back to the trailer, and so we've got this planet at the beginning. So there's or whatever this object here, right? The thought is this is a planet. There's two thoughts on this planet primarily. One is that it might be related to Mandalore, and this is the planet there next to Mandalore. And are we seeing features of that planet? And it starts with a C. I can't remember. Hold on one second. I've got it here with my friend a Magic Maker. A Magic Maker was saying, oh, I gotta go back up here. It's way up here. A Magic Maker. Where is he? Here it is. He was saying Mandalorian Concordia. Yeah, Concordia. He thought it was a gas giant, but then what he thought were clouds were actually white deserts with a canyon, more like Mandalorian Rebels. So that's what he thought. I still think that it's a gas giant. And if it's a gas giant, that leads to several questions about what is the planet that we see come around, or moon. Is that another planet or is that a moon? I think it is likely a moon. And there's some discussion about is this Yavin 4, the moon there, Yavin, or my thought, possibly, and this is I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it, but I think this planet back here could be the moon that we see in The Rise of Skywalker. And the reason I say that is if Din Djarin is searching the trail of Luke Skywalker, then he would be visiting places that Luke Skywalker visited, or there were rumors of. And why might he be looking for Luke Skywalker? I know a lot of people are really, really focused in on Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka is a huge favorite of a lot of Star Wars fans, but Ahsoka is it's going to the next. Yeah, Ahsoka is maybe only going to have a small part of this season, a cameo, and there might be. And I know Josh alluded to this, and some others have as well. There might be a surprise cameo from none other than Luke Skywalker. And if that's the case, then we would see. And why would he be searching for Luke Skywalker? We got to place this. This is right after Return of the Jedi. It's shortly thereafter. And remember, at the time they thought that this was a dead religion. Nobody was. There were no Jedi, and we had no knowledge of Ahsoka or anybody else who she may have brought along with her. So Ahsoka isn't part of the picture. If you're looking for this tribe, and that's what you see here, the armor is saying, you must reunite it with its own kind. This narrative that went through the trailer leads me to think that he's looking for this tribe of people. And I'll pause it right here because with seeing the same people here, right, in this desert planet, this is probably Tatooine. I know we get sick and tired of Tatooine showing up everywhere, but it would make sense. And I heard somebody talk about, look, they've got these sets built for, they've got them built for the Obi-Wan series. So maybe we would have them reusing these sets because they're going to use them in both. And oh, good evening, Mike Porter. I don't have you blocked, right? You can join the chat. We had a lot of fun this morning. I don't know what happened there in the Den of Nerds stream, but it's great to have you here. So yeah, I think this is probably uh, this is probably Tatooine. And again, if he's chasing leads for Luke Skywalker, and the way that trailers go, everything's kind of pieced and parted, out of order. I'm going to let this play again while I talk. It's very possible that this happens out of order of what we're seeing, and this is, and there, here we go again. I'm going to stop it again. So if that's Yavin 4, that makes total, Tatooine. He's chasing Luke Skywalker. If the first planet is Yavin, or if it's the moon, so the reason I think that it could possibly be the moon from The Rise of Skywalker is, again, that's Luke Skywalker was involved with destroying the second Death Star. And if he's looking for hints of where he might have been, he may visit the same scene of that Death Star wreckage. So it's possible that we've got that moon there as well. So the ice planet, what might the ice planet be? And there's a lot of talk about this being Ilum. Ilum, of course, is the planet from the sequel trilogy, the Starkiller base in The Force Awakens, but it was also involved in the video game and the animated series, and it goes back into the yeah, it goes back into the animated series for the Clone Wars, and this is where the Jedi would go to get kyber crystals. It was the journey to create their lightsaber, and they went on that challenge. And in the Clone Wars animated series, Yoda and Ahsoka go there and they take the younglings through, and they get their kyber crystals, and they build their lightsabers. So I tend to agree that this could be Ilum. And why would Din Djarin go to Ilum if he's searching for Luke Skywalker? We don't have anywhere in the story that says that Luke went to Ilum, but it would be a Jedi temple, and then that Jedi temple would be someplace where he might find hints of where other Jedi could be. And then there's this scene here that's gotten all kinds of people are like, what is this ship? Is it a Y-wing? Is it an X-wing? Is it the Mandalorian's, the Razor Crest? Is it a troop transport? There's a lot of discussion about what is this vessel. Is it the place where Ahsoka went down on that troop transport, and all of those clones were killed, and he went here because they had heard of the story of Ahsoka? So is he hunting for Ahsoka, or is he hunting for Luke Skywalker? I think he's hunting for Luke Skywalker. I don't think this is where Ahsoka landed, and I don't think this is a troop transport. I could be wrong, but I think this is likely one of the other destinations, another snow planet, and this is going to be something that a lot of people haven't even talked a lot about. So, Mike, I like Mando 2 trailer a lot better than Josh, and Alan likes the sequel trilogy. And I want to talk about that too. But yeah, I think people are really excited about The Mandalorian and excited about this upcoming season, and there's a good reason for that. So let's let this go on, and we see next this planet here, and I'll pause it again because is this the first planet we saw outside that gas giant? I think it's a gas giant. It could be Mandalore, but I think it's likely one of the other planets, and this is the planet that is in the very first scene. Not sure. And is this Moncala, or is it something else? So I want to stop here just again because we've got some fantastic folks in the Den of Nerds. If you go into the Star Wars discussion in our Discord group, some folks have posted some pictures here, and this is Baymax posted these great pictures here, and you can see in this scene Moncala, right? So That's General Akbar's species, right? So this is a Mon Cala here, and then we also have. Then let me open the other. We have the Quarrens, right? So here's a Quarren, and there's a Mon Cal there. So Mon Cala and Quarren are both there, and you can see it here. There's a Quarren. Here's another Quarren, a Quarren, right? They're everywhere. And this is the Mon Cal back here from that one scene, so that somebody's enhanced. So uh, it's very likely this could be Mon Cala. I'm not sure. And if you just look at the history, the information about Mon Cala, it says it's valuable, blah blah blah. Right? This is Wikipedia talking about it's an oceanic planet located in a binary star system. So I didn't see two stars. I didn't see even one. We don't know if it's a two star, but the this is an oceanic world. It's very blue, and it looks very much like that planet that we saw. So I think it's very likely that that could be Mon Cala that we see in the opening scene, and that here we're also seeing Mon Cala. I think that's very, very likely. And but there's a twist. And I'll tell you about the twist here in a minute. So let's just play a little bit more. This is the you see the Mando here walking. This person's got a backpack with a like a little fish tank on it, and we get this cloaked figure. I know a lot of people were so anticipating that we get Ahsoka Tano that they jumped on this right away, and then they realized, well, wait a minute, that's not Ahsoka, and that's not Rosario Dawson. This is another actress. This is another character. And is it a whole host of questions? I tend to think that it's a Jedi, or possibly one of the Night Owls. Now, the Night Owls are Mandalorian. They traveled around with, just drew a blank on her name. Oh, she's supposed to be in this season. You guys will tell me. I just drew a blank because I'm thinking about other things. But I think it might be a Night Owl here that we have. And she is looking for she knows that the Mandalorians are looking for a Jedi there, and that he's Mandalorian, and that this could possibly be. And so I think that's what she most likely is. That she's from Mandalore. She's a Mandalorian. She's a Night Owl. That's possible. It's also possible that she is a Jedi in training. She's been with Ahsoka or somebody else, learning the ways of the Force. And I say that because of the context we see in the text as they're talking about her, and that they say here that it's a race of here you go, enemy sorcerers, right? The race of any enemy sorcerers, and right as they say that, poof, she disappears as people walk right in front of her, and so it leads you to make that connection between sorcerers, which would be a Jedi, and her. I still think probably a Night Sister. So there's that. Let the trailer play just a little bit more, and we'll get a little more information here. Yeah, streaming October 30th, which is our anniversary. So here we got this vessel again on this water world. I want to point out something on that. I'm gonna pause it here for just a second, and I want to actually go back if I can. So you can see this vessel, and it's traveling this direction. And here's where I want to go ahead and throw in the little twist in this possible story. And I posted in Discord yesterday, and on Twitter. This could be Soralia is the name of the planet, and this is the name of the planet. It's primarily blue. It's got some land. This looks very orange or red, in here, and it really didn't look a lot like that planet at the beginning. But this is a comic again, and the coloring doesn't necessarily represent what you would see in actual film, but rather, a comic. But it's also in a it has a trinary star, so it has three. We talked Mon Cala has two, Sorelia has three, but its surface is covered mostly in oceans, which supported aquatic life and the planet's fishing business. Though it had occasional red, here it is, red land masses. So there we have it. So this is a planet that Luke Skywalker visited in and I'll get here so you can see it. It's in Star Wars number 5 from this year, 2020. And in this comic, he's searching for the lightsaber he lost in Cloud City. And we'll talk about Cloud City a little bit here as well. But let me zoom in here and show you guys. Like, here is the docks. Here are the docks that we have in Sorelia, and here on from the trailer, the docks from the trailer, very similar. Here we have the hooded figure from the comic that was a Jedi or a Force user in kind of hiding, and here we have what could be a Jedi in hiding. And I think it's very possible that's what we're looking at. And then you'll see here this vessel with the mast in front that the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, and the child are on. Here Luke Skywalker was in a vessel very similar with a mast on it, same sort of shape. One big difference here, you can see the vessel that Luke Skywalker is in, the mast is in the back and it's got some propulsion engines. Here the mast is in the front and the propulsion engine's in the back. So, but very similar. And then in the comic, there's this scene where Luke is captured by the Force user and put in a well, and he's trying to keep from drowning, and she's going to drown him. Here we see the Mandalorian in the same sort of situation, also perhaps drowning. So, or being attempted, somebody's attempted to drown him. So these are very good similarities. I found this on Reddit stream, and I think it's very likely that we could be looking at Sorelia, and that if Din Djarin is searching for Luke Skywalker went here as part of his quest, as well as we'll see in the trailer Cloud City, right? If and here's another of our Mon Cala folks, but here's where the Cloud City scene comes in. And if he went to Cloud City because Luke Skywalker went to Cloud City, Luke Skywalker lost his hand in Cloud City, this might be Cloud City here, and then he went to Sorelia, we could have the same thing going on here. The Mandalorian, Din Djarin, is following the same path. And again, we get some of the other scenes from that we've already had before. There was some discussion: is this taking place immediately after, or during, or was there a time gap? I think it happened immediately after, and that was in the Entertainment Weekly story. Drew's reviews. Oh, hey, it appears you're also Batman. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it makes sense to follow Luke's footsteps. I agree. And I've seen lots of talk about this planet here seems to mirror the one in the video game. I'm not so sure. So I'm not even going to speculate on this because it's outside of my knowledge. So I'll let that go. And then on down we go. We've got the path. Here's the scene I was talking about where he's maybe being somebody's trying to drown him, and just some of the different scenes that are spliced in. Again, Star Wars Theory did a great job analyzing this. Again, if this is Ilum, and he's going to search where Luke Skywalker may have been, this could be a Jedi temple. and he's going there just to get clues about Jedi. The again, the child's people, or his type, his species. This could very well be the Razor Crest on fire, crashing, and that could have been what we saw before. And again, we get and this is supposedly Jon Favreau's guest appearance, right? His this could be Jon Favreau here, this alien guy, and they said it sounds like his voice, and that's probably Favreau right there. And then we get the whistling birds, and here we go. There they are. And then we get the child, of course, goes into the. He's like, "Nope, I'm out." Shut the hood, and on it goes. And then we're almost at the end of the trailer, and we'll just let it kind of play out here a little bit. It's also noted here. I'm going to kind of try to jump it ahead a little bit. We have a Zabrak, so the same species that Maul is. This is a Zabrak here, and I think he's falling here. So I don't know what planet this is. I've seen some speculation. I think Star Wars Theory's done a great job of kind of spelling that out. So, and Josh went through that this morning. So there's the information from the trailer that I wanted to go through and talk about. We very possibly could have Mon Cala. I'm not sure. That planet looks a lot more like Mon Cala than it does Soralia, but the scenes out of Soralia seem to match a lot closer to what we saw in the trailer than Mon Cala. And it would make sense that if you have a water world and you need some people working on a dock, you might hire Mon Cala. But I think it's probably Mon Cala, and they're going to borrow. The other thing that kind of takes away from this is this comic that I posted. This is from Charles Soule wrote this, and it was published in I think May. I could be wrong. It could be April, something like that. It was posted earlier this year, 2020. Season 2 of The Mandalorian was already in the can before. All of the primary filming was done before we had the outbreak of COVID. So it very well might not be Soralia, but I still think it might be. And I think that's because they're collaborating more. And that leads back to the last, because Star Wars has gotten a lot of heat over the movies. And I remember back, even with the original trilogies, some things people didn't like. The prequel trilogies made a lot of people angry. And then there's all these questions, speculation. What's this? What's that? Where did this person come from? Why does the Emperor already suddenly have this lightning ability? Where did that come from? All these things happen, and a lot of discussion happened around the prequels, and then the same thing's happening now with the sequels. And I think Star Wars fans get so caught up in the lore, they get so caught up with the expanded universe in the books, the novels, the video games. They get so caught up with this additional information that when they watch the movies, they want that expansion in there. And there's just not enough time to explore every single question that you have in a movie. And so what that allows then is for them to say, well, they didn't answer this question and that question and this other question, and they come up with this string of things. And the more questions they come up with over time, the worse the movie gets. And by the end of the day, they've come up with so many questions that they've completely torn apart the movie, and they no longer have enjoyment. And that's what happened with the prequels for me. And I see that happening with the sequels now for like Josh and Al and with some others. But I think when we get into these stories that can be expanded on, they can be taken out over a longer period of time, like the Mandalorian, and perhaps the Obi-Wan, and, excuse me, hold on. Some of these other series that are in works at Disney Plus. I think They have a great opportunity there to tie in additional lore. They have time to develop the characters. They have character-driven stories, and that's what Kathleen Kennedy said. She said that in Disney Plus, they're able to focus on character-driven stories, and then they're able to expand on those stories and develop the characters further. So that's what we see happening in the Mandalorian. That's why people are so engaged with it, and really, really excited about the season coming up and the previews that we just had. So, um, as you can hear, my voice is I inhaled wrong, and now I'm half choked. And I hear Mrs. Claus milling about. We haven't had dinner. It's after 8 p.m. Eastern. I just wanted to talk with you guys a little about the trailer. I wanted to go through and talk a little bit about Mike. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the feuding that goes on, and touch base again where Josh had mentioned this show on Netflix called The Social Dilemma. It would encourage you to watch it. And remember, our enemies are not horizontal. They're not with other Star Wars fans. They're not with other people who have different perspectives than us. And what we end up with on social media and in YouTube are these algorithms that feed us more of the thing that we click on. And as we click, we get more and more and more, and it drives us into these patterns. And I'd encourage you to disconnect as much as possible from the devices and reconnect as much as possible with human beings, people. And when you are engaging with people in social media and on YouTube and those kind of things, remember, they're not your enemy. And we need to spend more time trying to build those connections with one another, and develop these relationships further. And we can have spirited and we can have passionate discussions, but they shouldn't be at a point where we come to blows on it, where we start dividing and separating fans or groups of people. We should be more inclusive and want to pull more people in rather than push them away. And I think Adam made a really good point earlier about modeling that after some of our sports teams. You know, you can be critical because there was a bad call or somebody dropped a pass or made a boneheaded play, or any number of things. But at the end of the day, they're still your team. You still root for them, and you're not trying to tell people. You're not out burning your jerseys and stuff, which I see a lot of people do that as well. So, all right, I'm going to wrap it up here. You guys have a fantastic day. I do not expect to be doing a stream tomorrow morning or tomorrow. There's just not a lot there to talk about. So we'll see if Josh gets me riled up. I may have to do a response, or if I can catch Fan Jexture here in a little bit. We'll enjoy the debate 8, and we'll catch up with you guys later. So until then, you guys take care. Thanks for joining tonight, and we had a great time talking about the Mandalorian season 2. So take care, and goodbye, everybody. Bye.